Hello, it's Jackie here from Wiltshire Libraries, and in this video I want to show you how you can use the Libby app from Overdrive to access ebooks, e-audiobooks and e-magazines, all for free with your Wiltshire Library membership. So to start off, we're going to go to the main Wiltshire Council website. The address is wiltshire.gov.uk, and if you scroll down you'll find a link to libraries. A little click on that will just take you to the main libraries page. We're looking for an option here called eBooks, e-audiobooks and e-magazines, and click on there, and this page gives you basically all the information that you need. Now, before we dive into any detail, I just need to remind you that you do need a valid library card number and a PIN. If you're not a member of Wiltshire Libraries at the moment, that's not a problem. You can join the library online through this link here. If you do have a library card number but you don't remember your PIN, that's not a problem either, because there's a link here to take you to the library catalogue, and you can choose Select Forgot PIN and you'll get a reminder through. So in this video we are going to be looking at the Libby app, and there's a link just here. If you click on that, it takes you through to a separate page, and this gives you the links where you can download the app onto the device of your choice. Now, if your device has a QR reader, you can just scan the QR code here. If not, if you have an iPhone or an iPad, there's a link here to the Apple App Store. And if you have an Android device, there's a link to the Google Play Store. And I'm just going to click on here and show you what that looks like. Now, I've already downloaded the app onto my Android phone. As you can see, it says installed, but if I hadn't, you'd have a green install button, little click on there, and it all gets downloading. So I'm going to head on over now to my phone and I will show you the app. Now, when you first open the Libby app on your device, it will ask you a few questions just to set up your account. And the first question it asks is if you have a library card. We've already mentioned in this video about how to set that up, but if you don't, if you choose not yet, it will allow you to find your nearest library and help you with doing that. We're just going to go back on this, and we're going to choose yes. And then you have to link your account to your local library authority, and there are three ways you can do this on here. The first one at the top is you can copy from another device if you have the Libby app all set up somewhere else. The bottom option is to guess the library, and the device will then use its location data to find your nearest library. Or perhaps the easiest way is just going to be the middle option, which is searching for a library. I'm just going to click on there, and I'm just going to type Wiltshire Libraries, or start to type Wiltshire Libraries, and it will come up with an option. There you go, Wiltshire Council Libraries. I'm just going to choose that. And now it's going to ask me for my library account details, and again it's just making sure that you do have a library card. If you still haven't got a library card and you choose the bottom option, it tells you how to set up an account with Wiltshire Libraries. We're going to press back on that, and I'm going to choose the top option, enter library account details. Now this is going to ask me for my card number, then when I press next it will ask me for my PIN number and allow me to sign up. So I'm going to pop my details in and I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so now I'm all signed in, and this is a picture of my library card. Now I've taken the opportunity to rename my card. I've called it Jackie's library card. You can name it whatever you like. If you don't name it, it will come up with your library card number here. It also shows me on here how many loans I can have out and how many I've got. So I can have up to 10 items out on loan. This doesn't include magazines, so magazines are additional to that. And I can also have 3 holds or reservations at any one time as well. So I'm going to press next. And now we come on to the main screen, and this is what you'll see every time you open up your app. If we look at the majority of the screen is a whole load of lists of different types. This is a little bit like going into your library and having a browse around, really. Perhaps you're looking for inspiration or something to catch your eye, or what's new. Okay, if I just come back up to the top to help search as well, we've got different options. We've got new titles or popular. We can look at random titles, or all available. We can also look at subjects, which are genres. have a look at different titles within all those genres. And if I wanted to then put some filters in, I just click this little preference with the plus in a circle here, and I can put some filters in terms of format, language, different audiences or availability, and then apply those preferences. I'm going to go back here. So in addition to all the lists, at the bottom you'll see we have 5 icons here which take us to different places. I'm going to click on the middle one first of all, the big button in the middle, and this is all about your notifications and basically your setup. So you can manage notifications and decide which notifications you see for particular events on your account and how you see those, and you can choose any of those and change them accordingly. Just going to go back now. And then also on this page you have your library setup. Now if you are a member of another library authority which also works on Libby, then you can set that up too, and you can manage all of your accounts all in one place. And of course we have help and support here as well. So I'm just going to hide this to go back to the main page. Now to the right of the middle button we have this icon here, and this is your bookshelf, and this will actually detail anything that you've got on loan at the moment. And you can also apply actions to those. In particular we've got download rules. Now download rules is quite interesting because you can choose to automatically download everything, or you can choose not to download anything, or you've got a middle option of downloading titles under a certain size. This really depends on your broadband or Wi-Fi capabilities, so you can choose accordingly there. I'm just going to hide that, and we'll go back to the main screen. Now to go back to the main screen, on the left of the middle button is a little oblong. If I click on that, that takes you back to the main screen. And then to the far right there's a little circle with an arrow in it. This is your timeline, and this will detail anything that you've had or that you've reserved. It's basically your history, and again you've got actions here where you can export the timeline to somewhere else, or you can turn it off or empty it. It is private timeline. And then if we go back to the main page again by clicking that rectangle, to the far left we have a little magnifying glass, which of course is your search button. So if you're searching for anything in particular, you can pop the details in here. So if we search for let's think of an author, let's do James Patterson there. So at the moment I'm looking for everything under James Patterson. Again, I can put filters in by clicking preferences if I wanted to, but we won't do that. So if we look at the list now, you can see the first ones here. I don't have a borrow option, I have a place hold option. This basically means that the title is in demand, so I would have to reserve it and then I would get it when it became available. Okay, if I scroll down a little bit further, you can see this one is not in demand and there are copies available, so I could borrow that. Now, I also might like to think, well, you know, I don't know whether I'm going to enjoy this or not. I might like to read a sample, a little bit like being in a physical library and opening the book and having a look. So if I wanted to, I could just click on read sample on any of these and have a little look and see what it looks like. The other option I've got with each title as well is to place a tag on here. So I might like to tag perhaps different reasons why I'm reading it. I might have read it as part of a book group. I might like to tag whether I like it, whether I don't like it. It's a very individual thing, and that will show up on your timeline as well. So what I'm going to do then is read a sample. Let's try the 20th victim. So I'm just going to click on read a sample here, and that will download. And then if I just click onto that page, it will open up and expand for me, and I can just scroll, have a look at the beginning and then start to read. If I want to come out of that, I just press and hold the screen, and then I can choose my back button. Okay, now if I then decided that I liked that, I could place a hold on it because it's not available to borrow. That's quite simple. and it tells me, actually, this is obviously quite a popular title, that it's going to be ready in about 6 weeks. So I'm going to place that hold. And I also have the option, once I've placed the hold, to manage my notifications or even turn off notifications on this device. Okay, but we're not going to worry about that. Let's press the back button here. We've actually got this on hold and we know how long it's going to take. Now, I don't want to wait 6 weeks to start to read my book, so let's find one that I can borrow as well. Let's borrow this one, Run for Your Life. I'm just going to press borrow here, and again it says I can have this for 21 days, and I have it immediately, and I'm borrowing it. So this now is automatically downloading. Remember, I can change the download options if I want to, but this means once it's downloaded I can read offline as well. And again, I get the option to manage my notifications. Little tick, it's all downloaded. And now what we're going to do is just go to my shelf, and I'm going to open this, and then we're going to click on there, and I can start reading it then. We get to the start of the story. There we go, that's the title page. And here we go. Now I've just done a little click on here again, because you see at the top here I've got some options. Now if I wanted to, if I press on the little A button, that's the text appearance, so I can actually scale it and make it a little bit bigger. I can also include accessibility sizes as well. And then I can also change the background, so if I want it bright, or if I wanted a sepia background or a dark background, if I found that was easier for me. Okay, we're just going to hide that, and then we go back onto that, and I can start reading. And then just to come back out of that a little, just press and hold, and that takes me there. Now also within the book I can search for anything. I'll press my little search button and I can search for anything within that book, and then you see I just did that there. I can also add a bookmark at a certain space as well. I'll just hide that. So just press me back, I come back on here. Now I can also manage my loan. If I find this book really riveting and I want to return it early, I can press manage loan, and I can instruct Libby to return it early. I can also have the option, if I'm getting close to the end of my loan and there are no reservations or holds on the title, I'll also be able to renew it as well. Okay, let's come back out of that. And then we can just go back to the main page. So that basically is your Libby app. Please read and explore, and if you have any questions, just come and ask us at your local library, and we'll do our best to help you.